यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। शिष्यः ते अहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् अहं ते शिष्यः शाधिमाम्. If you wanted to put it in prose, this is the way it would be. It is called Anvaya. I am your Shishya. What kind of Shishya? Tvam Prapannam. A Shishya that has surrendered to you because left to my own devices. Look at where I have got myself after 1 quarter chapters. Look at where I am. I am no better than, in fact, I feel worse than before. So obviously I am in a place that needs big time help. And so, Shishya Teham. And then, what does he want? Shishya means, actually I want this knowledge. There is no other meaning there. The word Shishya itself means that. Shikshana Yogyaha Shishya. That the one who is worthy of being taught. In fact, the onus is on the student. In fact, Vedanta is very unfair. Everything is on the student. Okay? So, if you don't get the knowledge, then what? Preparation nahi tha. Preparation is not there. And preparation is lacking. So, I have to go and get some more Shama, some more Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, etc., etc. It's all on the student, correct? And then, so here also, asking for the knowledge, who should ask for the knowledge? Student should ask for the knowledge. And then usually we see that in stories and everything, and even in Vedanta Shastra, in Upanishads, we see the student makes the teacher pleased, pleases the teacher. And there is a reason why I am doing these air quotes. Pleases the teacher, and then the teacher starts to teach. I was always wondering, what kind of a teacher needs to be pleased? If it is a teacher of Vedanta, the teacher of Vedanta must be naturally pleased, correct? Because the subject matter of Vedanta is that. It is Ananda, and the subject matter being non-separate from the person who has studied. That means what? Everybody is Ananda, and the teacher should also be what? Ananda. And so what is the reason to please the teacher? I was always thinking like this. Please means I have to, as a student, show the teacher that I am worthy of being taught. Then only the teaching can begin. It's not please as in give a bribe, and it's not like that. Please the teacher doesn't mean try to do some apple polishing and try to flatter the teacher, no such thing. The teacher has to be reasonably certain that it is not a waste of time. Why doesn't the teacher want to waste his or her time? Because it's not even about waste of time. It is about giving the knowledge to the unqualified persons, which is a taboo in the Upanishads. Do not give this knowledge. Kathopanishad says at the end, Na avarito dushcharitat. We'll see this. Na avarito dushcharitat. Dushcharitat means from difficult, bad, adharmic behavior. Na avaritaha, the one who has not stopped or returned from that. Don't give such a person. Or the one who has a mind with the monkey inside. Jump, 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 jump. Don't give to such a person. It says like this. So the teacher is not wanting to test. The teacher is not wanting to put the person in a difficult situation. But the teacher wants to know naturally. And what does the teacher want to know? The teacher wants to know if this person is worthy of being taught. The teacher wants to know that. And so therefore, this is so the word Shishya itself means one is asking for this knowledge. Shikshana Yogya, the one who is worthy of being taught. Now, there are 3 words in the Sanskritam language for student. In English, we have only one student. The first one is Vidyarthi. Arthin means the one who asks. For what? Vidya. Vidyarthi means the person who wants knowledge. The person who wants knowledge could also be a casual seeker. Goes to the university, attends some classes and just gets the knowledge, whatever it is. Wants to accomplish something. Vidyarthi. Then we have another word, Antevasin. Sadly translated as inmate. Even in another place we say inmate. Where? Prison, yeah. In prison also one is called what? Inmate. And proudly one says, I am an inmate of Swami Dayananda ashram. Antevasin, inmate. Meaning stays in the ashram. That is the idea. Stays in the Gurukula, stays with the teacher, but that doesn't mean he or she is getting the knowledge. If hanging around the teacher would give you the knowledge, everybody would become a satellite around the teacher. Until the teacher gets sick of you and boots you out. Okay? So, that also doesn't give you the knowledge. It's just a statement of a fact that the person is in the ashram. But Shishya, the word, means the person has worked on himself, herself, to the extent that they are really, really ready to let go of previous notions, ideologies, all kinds of fancies, wrong thinking, misapprehensions about the I. Everything they are willing to let go. They have put their life and their everything on the line. They don't care what happens in the future, and there is in fact no future. Right now is the problem. Right now I want the solution. This is Shishya. Lord Krishna did not call Arjuna a Shishya. Who called Arjuna a Shishya? Sanjaya. No, Arjuna himself said, Shishyasteham. He declares. That means what? He has reached a point of no return. That is Shishya. There is no looking back. There is no second guessing. There is no saying, yo teacher, thanks for the jnanam. I had a good time, but now I'm going to explore a few other options. This is not the way. I am open to hearing what is there to discover. I am on a journey of self-discovery. That is what is Shishya. The one who has put himself, herself in this position of self-discovery, leaving aside all other concerns. And so, these 3 words, out of these 3 words, he could have chosen any. He could have said, Vidyarthi aham. This is no. Shishyasteham. Shadhima. Shadhi, teach. In fact, he feels so free with Lord Krishna, he orders him, teach me. because there is that closeness, because it's in the imperative mode. It's like, it's the same thing like, jalam anaya, bring me water, bring water. And people, in Western countries, they think we are a kind of a thankless culture. We don't say thank you, we don't say please. And these words, kripaya, they are not really please. Kripaya means out of compassion. That has nothing to do with the word please. We don't have a word please. We don't have a word thank you also. Dhanyavadaha means I'm telling you how blessed I am. That's nothing to do with thank you. So, when I first went to America, then everybody thought, why are you so rude, they said. You don't say please, you don't say thank you, and you are so rude. Then I came back here. At every step I was saying please, thank you, please. Then they said, why are you so formal? The whole culture is different away. There is a reason for that. It is a Shastric reason, it is a Vedantic reason. It's very, very beautiful. There is no thank you, because if I say thank you to you in that sense, forget the day-to-day, I'm telling you the deep meaning. If you are saying thank you, don't stop saying thank you, okay? Yeah, otherwise your batchmates will think something suddenly is wrong with you. So, if I say thank you to somebody, that means I'm acknowledging them as the giver of something that I want. Am I not? Thank you, you have given me this, how wonderful you are. But it is a culture that recognizes Ishvara as the giver of everything. Bhagavan as the giver of everything, and so there is no need to thank anybody. And so the word thank you is not there. And for the same reason, the word please is not there. You just ask for what you want, Bhagavan will give, and Bhagavan will give through somebody or the other, the need is fulfilled. You don't even have to thank Bhagavan, because with Bhagavan you can be very free. In fact, some of our prayers even abuse Bhagavan nicely. What are you doing to me? Sri Rudram is a case in point. In the second last Anuvaka it says, Drape Andhasaspate. Drape means you disgusting thing. How could you do this to me? Yes, you may be giving me my own karma phala, but what kind of a karma phala is it? And you are supposed to be all-knowing, you are supposed to be almighty, you are supposed to be omniscient. And what are you doing to me? Take back all this, because you have the power, you have all power, all might, take it back. Like this, we have wonderful ways of relating to Bhagavan. And so we don't say thank you, we don't say please for this reason. And for this same reason, Arjuna is able to tell Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna, teach me now. There is an urgency. When there is an urgency, you don't say please. If you're drowning in the water, you don't say please. If you have the time and if you don't mind, please get me out. Nobody has the time to do that. Get me out. And somebody is saying, bachao, help. You don't say, please, if anybody is there, can you please help? No. So here, the words, in the imperative mode, which is an order, shadhi, it's an order, shows many things. On the empirical level, it shows his closeness with Lord Krishna. Very nice. And on the absolute level, it shows that when a person is in search of this knowledge, it's like the head is on fire. This analogy was given by Acharya Swamiji a few weeks ago. And when the head is on fire, what do you want? You want a body of water to dip your head. Hair is on fire. And then somebody shows you, oh, just 100 yards from here, there is Ganga. Go, dip your head in the Ganga and soothe yourself. Then you are running towards the Ganga. Then what? You meet the Pani Puri man, some kind of snacks. And you say, okay, let me have a plate of this, and then I will go for dip my head. Will you do that? No. Or you see a coffee shop. Okay, I'll order a coffee and then go dip my head. No, the urgency is so much. Now I can't wait a single moment. And in this itself, in this order, we see not Arjuna's rudeness, because that's not the intention here. We see his deep preparation and his utter transformation after chapter 1. Chapter 1 was a psychological therapy session where the Lord just listened. Now the teaching will begin. So Shishya teham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Now, why does he say I am your Shishya? Because he cannot figure it out on his own. Not for the sake of trying. He has tried many things, but he cannot figure it out. It's beyond him. He gets stuck in the fact that these are wrongdoers, yes, but they are connected to me. And without them I have no will to live. He is stuck on the topic, on the morbid topic of death, which is what the battlefield is all about. And as I said, Krishna had options. The Guru always has options. The Guru can tell, no, I'm not going to teach you. What were you doing all these 12 years? You were eating bananas in the forest, whiling away your time. Why should I teach you now? Go fight. After that we'll see. Or the teacher could say, all right, fight the battle. After that we'll have class. No. He said yes, because he too agrees with Arjuna about the urgency of the situation. The urgency of the situation and the preparedness makes Lord Krishna go into the Guru mode. It's almost like Arjuna pressed the Guru button in Krishna, which he didn't even know he had. Not Krishna. Arjuna did not know. He could invoke Krishna as Guru. Only desperate times call for desperate measures, and then he somehow invoked. And this also brings us to a very interesting question. What is the correct place for this knowledge? It should be in a nice ashram, no noise anywhere, everything should be nice, birds should be chirp, chirp, cheep, 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 they should be saying, and then wonderful hall, everybody should be assembled, and then everybody should be in Chin Mudra, having a wonderful oneness moment, and that's when the teaching should unfold. Under ideal conditions, that's our spiritual romanticism. And what is the time for the teaching? The time should be again, not too hot, not too cold, not too early, not too late, just right. All these things are part of our own spiritual romanticism. The truth is, there is no time or no place that is wrong for the teaching. If the student is ready and the teacher is willing to teach, you can sit on the edge of a cliff on a height and then also get this teaching. Or as this the Mahabharata war shows you can be in the middle of a battlefield and get this teaching. In the din of all the kettle drums, arrows whizzing past, ducking the arrows, the verses of the Gita pour forth. Why? How? Because as it is outside, so it is within. That is how it is. In fact, this knowledge prepares one to better face the world. It is a knowledge that helps. It is not a knowledge that makes you retreat and go into seclusion, isolation. If you want to go into isolation, you don't need this knowledge. You just need a straight jacket. Straight jacket means there is some way in which people who might be harming themselves. There are big sleeves, and so the hands are put like this and tied up. Legs also similarly are tied up, and the person is put in solitary isolation and watched to make sure that they are not harming themselves. If you want to go into isolation, you don't need this knowledge. After this knowledge, if you want to go into isolation, that's your choice. That's entirely different thing. But for the sake of this knowledge, what is this knowledge for? This knowledge is to show that the I is free of sorrow. This can be gained everywhere, anywhere. In the world, where one stays, right there one can gain this knowledge. And that to show that in the battlefield itself, because the heart itself is a battlefield where various kinds of notions rage. Dharma, adharma, aviveka. No discrimination between dharma and adharma, therefore there is a conflict. Whenever there is no viveka, there is a conflict. Then, what is mithya and what is satyam? No viveka. What is atma, what is anatma? No viveka. Everywhere, no viveka. And therefore, all these things are in conflict. Raga, dvesha, conflict, everything is in conflict. And so, right there, the teaching is about to begin. But before that, Arjuna says something. Vaya, actually he doesn't say anything, and that's what is reported by Sanjaya. Sanjaya uvacha. Sanjaya uvacha. Eva muktva hrishikesham. Eva muktva hrishikesham. Gudakeshav parantapa. Gudakeshav parantapa. Nayotsya iti govindam. Nayotsya iti govindam. Uktva tushnim babhuvah. Uktva tushnim babhuvah. Tushnim babhuva. Tushnim means silent. He fell silent. Babhuva. Past. Perfect past. He had fallen silent. He fell silent. What did he say before he fell silent? Nayotsye. Don't forget the sandhi, okay? Nayotsya. There is a sandhi hiding there. The A has been elided. Nayotsye. I shall not fight, he declared. Why did he declare that? Because he didn't see any purpose in fighting. And he already had decided to sacrifice himself as the fodder for the arrows. He had already said, it's better they kill me and it's better I don't do anything. And so, he says, I will not fight. Nayotsye iti govindam uktva. Having said it to Lord Krishna. So, eva muktva, the uktva comes twice. So, one uktva to cover all that he said before. Shishyasteham, all these things. And even though I have an unrivaled kingdom, I don't want to do. All this. One uktva, having said, applies to verses says 6, 7, 8, 9, all those verses. The other uktva is just for this one sentence, na yotsye, I shall not fight. So Rishikesham uktva and Govindam uktva. And then who said? Gudakesha, Gudakayaha, Isha. The master of sleep. Gudaka is sleep. I told you the story of Gudaka Devi, right? Yeah, if you don't remember, that means you are possibly asleep. So, Gudaka is the goddess of sleep. Gudakayaha Isha, the one who has mastery over sleep. Arjuna could pull 3, 4 all-nighters, no problem. He could stay up all night. And if he just had 2 minutes of sleep, standing up, he could sleep. And he would just be immediately refreshed. Unlike us, who want 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours. So, unlike most of the people, Arjuna was satisfied with very little sleep, therefore giving him the wonderful title. Somebody must have given the title, Gudakesha. That's one more reason. It was a joy to have Arjuna in the Vedanta classes for Lord Krishna because would not sleep. And so, Gudakayaha Ishaha Gudakesha Rishikesham. Rishikesha we have seen. Rishikana Ishaha. Rishikesha. Rishikam means what? Huh? Not control, manage. Okay, the one who can manage the sense organs. Ishaha, the lord of the sense organs. Rishikanam, Rishikam means sense organs. Okay. Then, so he became silent. The question is why he became silent. Because of many reasons he became silent. One is he was tired. He was mentally and emotionally drawn out completely, exhausted. It shows not that's why he had run out of things to say. He had run out of things to say. First reason, he was emotionally just exhausted, mentally exhausted. Physically he was okay, but mentally and emotionally totally spent he was. Then another reason is he started to understand that this is an inside job. This is not something to keep complaining about the universe, about the Kauravas, the Dhartarashtras, about Dushasana, Duryodhana, because I am just rehearsing the distress. There is distress. Yes, he acknowledges that there is distress. But what is this distress? This distress, is it outside of me or is it inside of me? He can't decide. He has a doubt. Inside means centered on me. Is the distress centered on this I? That wherever the I obtains, there is an identification with the distress. Is the distress centered on the I, or is it centered on the situation that I am facing? And one can argue that this is how the sorrow operates. If you go somewhere and see let's say you go to your friend's house, and then that person is very, very sad, they are facing challenging situation. Will you also not feel sad? Yes? Yes. So you can say that like COVID, sadness is catching. You catch the sadness simply because it is in the air, you can catch the sadness. Even though that sounds quite agreeable, everybody says, yeah. Some people are thinking, maybe this is a trick question. But most of the people are agreeing. Yes, it is a trick question. Because, a trick statement rather, there is no question. If it is true that sadness always is centered on the not I. What is the Sanskrit term for not I? Very nice. Anatma. If it is centered on anatma, then I don't have a problem. Because I am free. All I have to do is avoid certain anatmas, certain kind of anatma situations I avoid. That means what? You'll be locked up. Is it any fun locking yourself up in your room? A few days you will be rocking back and forth out of frustration. That is what? And you will be depressed. And so, anatma is the cause of my sorrow. Then that means wherever anybody is sad, I catch that sorrow. Correct? But that is not true. That is not what happens. Let's say this fellow, any hypothetical fellow, has won the lottery, millions of dollars. He just found out all the numbers match. And nobody had won the lottery for 5 weeks in a row. Everything had piled on, piled on, piled on, piled on. And everything is his. Then suddenly somebody died. Friends, family. He had to go to the funeral. He goes to the funeral. Is he sad? He's trying his best not to smile. He's like, when will this stupid thing be over so I can just go party? I can jump, I can collect the money, I can just, be free of this dead-end job that I'm just going to office at 9 and coming back, and this job where everybody else except me is getting promotion. What is this? He's trying his best not to smile. He's trying his best to look composed and then inside he just cannot handle it. So it's not true that the sadness is catching. If sadness was catching immediately, the lottery joy should have just fled and he should have got the anatma sadness. He should have got it, he should have been down in the dumps, but he is not. He is very, 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 very happy. And this itself shows that anatma is not the cause of sorrow. Oh, this is not a good beginning to the Bhagavad Gita teaching, because this was my whole premise. I was banking on the fact that this is somebody else's problem, and that if I just avoided this one, and if I told off that one, if I scolded yet one more, if I disciplined another one, then I can just be completely free of this jagat and all these problem makers. Or I can take a kamandalu. Kamandalu is that which Pujya Swamiji in the far side of the classroom is holding in the hand in that full length foot. Kamandalu, water pot. And run off to the higher Himalayas. What will you do there? Huh? What will you do there? Few days it will be nice. Nobody to bother me. All these annoying people are gone. Wonderful. After that what? Wherever you are, wherever you go, you have to deal with yourself. And what is this myself? This myself is a mixture of what? As I know, Atma and Anatma, both. What I consider myself is a mixture of Atma and Anatma. I know I am, and that I am is free. I have heard in the Shastra, I have heard that is the subject matter of the Upanishad and the Bhagavad Gita. Yet I have a backache, yet I have hand ache, leg ache, front ache, fever. Fever is Atma or Anatma? Anatma. So, this deadly and unholy combination itself brings about whatever the sorrow that is there, centered on the ahankaras, the I notions, non-comprehension of the I, the self, that is unfolded through the Shastra. That is the cause of sorrow. I mistake myself for what I am not. Two kinds of problems are there. And this problem, as Acharya Swamiji told us a few days back, is called Adhyasa. Adhi asaha. Adhi means on something. Asaha, to throw. Projection. Like even a snake on what? Rope. That's why in Sanskritam it is called, this phenomenon is called aropa. Why do you see the snake on the rope? Don't get all Vedantin on me. Don't say Mithya and all these things. I heard that. Yeah, so.
You don't know the rope as it is.
Yeah, you don't know what is there. It is twilight. It is almost dark. You don't recognize that this is rope. The non-recognition of the rope, and here I am going to substitute the word rope for adhisthana. Adhi plus tha plus ana to make it a noun, abstract noun. That which is already there. The basis for the mistake, the basis for the aropa, the basis for the adhyasa is called adhisthana. So the non-recognition of the adhisthana causes adhyasa. In fact, I am going to fine-tune this sentence. The non-recognition of the adhisthana causes adhyasa because it gives me room to think of the adhisthana, to make a mistake centered on the adhisthana, to look at the adhisthana how it is not. So here in the example of rope and snake, what is adhisthana? Snake. Rope. Okay, good. And what is adhyasa?
Snake.
Non-recognition of rope gives rise to snake. But there is a step missing. Non-recognition of rope, step number 1. Fear of snake. Here, raga-dvesha. You don't have raga for snake. Raga means strong preferences. What do you have for the snake? Dvesha, fear. So the dvesha for the snake, fear is included in dvesha. So the dvesha for the snake combined with the non-recognition of the rope makes you see that which you are most afraid of, and you mistake the rope for the snake. But thankfully you have your cell phone, hell phone, okay? Yeah. And then it does everything. In addition to making calls, what does it do? It goes on the internet. It sounds an alarm when you want to be woken up, and it makes you coffee if you press a button. Not yet, but the next generation will do. Next Gen 4 will do that. And then it also has flashlight. And you shine the light on the snake and you say, ah, foolish me. What is it? Rope. Mistake is gone. But then where did the snake go? Did it slither away in the bushes where nobody was looking? No?
It was never there.
It was there. It was not. It was there in the form of dvesha, my fear. It was a projection that was withdrawn back into the recesses of the mind. It was as though there in the form of the fear, and it was as it were withdrawn, leaving the adhisthana free of mistakes, leaving the rope free of mistakes. Same thing. Now replace rope with Atma. Non-recognition of the Atma as it is. If the Atma is not recognized for what it is there a problem?
Yes.
Only for human beings, not for the animal kingdom. The dog does not know it is God, okay? It doesn't know. It also has ajnana. It also has self-ignorance. It doesn't know Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. It doesn't know. It doesn't know. It doesn't go around saying, you know what, there is a spelling mistake in my name. It should be G-O-D, not D-O-G. It doesn't go around thinking that. Full of ajnana. Atma ajnana. Still it is happier than all the people in the world. It is happy, it seems to be happy. As long as it's fed, as long as it's given some pats on the back, and as long as it has a warm place to stay and sleep, it seems to be happy. In fact, even if the owner beats it, it still wags the tail. Seems to be happy. Same thing with all the other animals, monkey, donkey, anything you see. Horse, cat, doesn't seem to be sad. Why? Because there are no complexes centered on the self. No complexes whatsoever. And then they have these dog shows. The show is for the owner, not for the dog. And the dog is polished and brushed and very nicely trotted around the circle. All for the owner. The owner's heart is bursting with pride. And then the time comes to declare, this dog is the winner. The dog could care less. It's the owner who jumps with joy, goes to get the certificate. If the dog got the certificate, the dog would assimilate the certificate. That's why the owner will not give the certificate to the dog. Take, this is for you. No. The dog will just get a pat. Yes, good boy. That's all. But the owner will give the certificate. So the pedigree of the dog is for the owner, not for the dog. The dog has no complex. And in America, they did something very interesting. They said, what is this? They have this Westminster dog show and all these big dog shows, and the best of the breeds, the costliest of the breeds are strutted around. And then what about our mongrels, like mixed up dogs? Then they said, we will have an ugly dog show. And they had one ugly, they do it every year, annual ugly dog show. And so, like this, the lower lip will be coming out, and one year he's been sacrificed in a dog fight many years ago, and then one is limping, the other one has no hair because of a skin disease, and the third one is, has some other mental problem, so it has a nervous tick. These are the kinds of dogs that come to the show. And then, again, they don't have a complex. They are happy to be there. It's again the owner who was sore at not having a dog to be able to enter into that other very highfalutin dog show, who is making up for the fact by bringing this dog to the ugly dog show. There also the owner will only, if anybody has a complex, the owner will have a complex. Wonder what the complex will look like. My dog is not ugly enough. Oh no, the owner is crying. So, you see, ajnana need not cause sorrow. The non-recognition of the adhisthana, which is oneself, need not cause sorrow. It only causes sorrow It is the cause of sorrow, it is the cause of fear, only in the human being. Why? It is as though Mother Nature, Prakriti, made the human being, blessed the human being with total self-awareness. I am aware of myself and I am aware of everything else. Not so with the dog and other animals. The dog has enough self-awareness to know it is a dog. And if a big dog, like a, what is that called? Husky, Alsatian, big dog, meets a dog which is in a purse. There are purse dogs. Small, what is it called? Chihuahua. Chihuahua is the name of the purse dog, handbag dog. In America, especially in California, these kinds of dogs are preferred and the women carry it and it will cutely poke its face out from the purse and say hello, and any big dog approaches, it quickly goes inside.
It's not true. The small dogs always bark.
Yeah, but it goes inside and then it will bark. Yeah. So then, if this husky meets this small dog, the husky is not going to think it's a cat. And the small dog, from the safety of its handbag, first it will go in. Then from the safety of the handbag, it will go yip, yip, yip. It will bark. So therefore, that's not the point. The point is that they have enough awareness to recognize themselves and recognize similar species for the sake of what? Propagation, reproduction. And they have enough awareness to recognize predators to again safeguard themselves and the species. That's the point of the story. We shouldn't get caught up in the behavior of the dogs. So then they have enough awareness to recognize each other and recognize what is not like me. The Alsatian will not mix up the pocket dog to be a cat. It will know it's a dog. And so this is all they need to know to lead their lives. For the human being, the capacity of free will is totally free, unfettered. The capacity to dream, the capacity to have all kinds of goals, ambitions in life. No dog will say, I have just entered a 6-month course. I am going to do this. Even though people assure me, they say, what? My dog is taking your online classes. It's not taking my online classes. It is sitting there because you are sitting there. If you get up and go, dog will also go. So this complete and total unfettered self-ignorance gives rise to an interim step which makes ajnanam deadly for us as human beings. What is that interim step? First step, not knowing Atma. But so many things do not know the Atma, they don't come to grief. So what is the interim step? The interim step is, I do not know Atma. That is not true. I kind of know Atma, but I know I am, but I do not know what I am. That is the interim step. Another step, between that and sorrow, one more step is there. What is that step? Therefore, since I do not know who I am, therefore I can mistake myself for what I am not. So the knowledge, the ignorance of the adhisthana, the rope, go back to the example now to assimilate this properly. The ignorance of the adhisthana is not enough to cause adhyasa. Need not be enough to cause a mistake. Supposing you were a snake handler, there are people, In Kerala, whose job is to handle snakes, there are certain tribal people are there. You call them, they will catch the snake, they will press the venom glands of the snake and make it poisonless. They do all kinds of things. So if you have no fear of snakes, if you don't know the rope, it will not cause fear. It will not be the cause of fear. So therefore what? So it's not just the non-recognition of the rope, but also mistake, meaning there is a fear that it may be something other than what it is. That is what causes fear, sorrow. Similarly, the eye, if it was completely unknown, cannot cause problems. An unknown eye cannot cause problems centered on the eye. If I don't know myself at all, then I will not mistake myself for a donkey, an idiot, a good for nothing, a loser, an unloved person. All these things I will not make a mistake. If I knew myself fully, then also I will not make a mistake. It's this partial half knowledge. Half knowledge, they say, is dangerous. So it is this half knowledge. I know I am. Why? Because I am self-evident. I am evident to me. Everything else is also becoming evident to me. This half knowledge has the right ingredients for the mistake. I know I am, but please do not ask the next question. What is the next question? Who am I? Who are you? Don't ask. The answer that will come is idiot, because that's what I was called in childhood, and so that is the answer that's going to come. Mistaken notions. So you see, it's not anatma that is the cause of sorrow. Atma can never be a cause of sorrow. Why? Because it is ananda. In fact, the word anatma is also ananda. We saw how, we are seeing in the Tattva Bodha, how the effect is not separate from the cause. And the qualities, the attributes of the cause inhere the effect. We have been seeing that. So if everything is Brahman, then the world is also what? Brahman. And what is Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Ananta. Satchidananda, that which is of Ananda, nature of limitless. So Anatma is not a cause of sorrow because it is Satchidananda. Then can Atma be the cause of sorrow? No, because that too is Satchidananda. Where is this sorrow then coming from? Where is this sorrow coming from? This multi-step mistake. Is the mistake that is the cause of sorrow, or rather it's a missed take. It's a missed take. That's the cause of sorrow. Because of that, there is grief. This is the secret of Arjuna's grief. This is the secret of any grief at any time that is happening to anybody. This is the secret. A little bit of Atma, a little bit of Anatma, and a lot of mix-up. This is what causes sorrow, fear, etc. Mulling on these things is the reason why Arjuna is silent. He is exhausted, he has nothing to say. And he just keeps quiet, but after making the decision. What is the decision? I will not fight. Seeing an opening, Lord Krishna jumps in, but first Sanjaya tells what Lord Krishna is doing. How he speaks. Tamuvacha Hrishikeshah Rahasanniv Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye विषीदन्तमिदं वचः तम् उवाच ऋषिकेशः तं means whom? Arjuna said to Arjuna. What did he where did he say it? Senayoho ubhayoho madhye. He could have driven towards the chariot a little away from the battle, but no. Right there in the middle of the battlefield, in between the two armies where they were sitting, right there the teaching begins. Senayoho ubhayoho madhye. Uvacha. Tam. Who is this tam? Arjuna. What kind of Arjuna? Vishidantam. Struck by sorrow. A sad Arjuna was addressed by what? A sorrowful Arjuna was addressed by a laughing Krishna. Prahasan iva. Has to laugh. Prahasan. A laughing Lord Krishna. Why is Lord Krishna laughing? Huh? If somebody is crying and you are laughing, you have a chance to get slapped because they first of all they are sad, then it's not going to take much time for them to get angry. Once they are sad, then they'll get very angry. What do you mean? I'm crying over here and you're laughing? What's wrong with you? Prahasan iva. Iva means as though laughing. We can take it as smiling. We can take it as laughing. Question is, many reasons could be there. Why is Krishna laughing? Many reasons could be there. Krishna might be laughing because for him this is a laughable matter. That the great Arjuna has lost his nerve. Maybe he is just enjoying it at his expense. But knowing Lord Krishna, that is not the reason. What else could be the reason? Here is a small hint. Perhaps Lord Krishna is laughing for the same reason that Lord Dakshinamurti is supposed to have a small smile on his face. And why is that? That didn't make it any clearer. Now I have to find out not only why Krishna is laughing, but then why Dakshinamurti is smiling. I have to find out. When? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari